Well, hey parents, this is Jeff, and I'm here with this week's Continue the Journey activity. These activities, of course, are designed to partner with you, help you as you help your kids on their journey to find and follow Jesus. And this activity is called The Big Picture. And it goes to support the main point, the key to extreme living that kids learned in the Daily Snack this week, that disciples of Jesus trust that God has their best in mind. Now, we talked this week in the Daily Snack, that's actually pretty hard right now as we deal with COVID and having to go to school on Zoom and maybe missing out on basketball or soccer or other activities. It can be really tough for adults at this point to figure out that God, or to remember that God has their best in mind. It can be really tough for kids to trust that God has their best in mind. So this is a great activity to do this week. Just need a couple of things from around your house. You need a piece of paper with a hole in it. I've got one right here. It's just a piece of construction paper, and I poked a pencil through it. You can make the hole a little bigger than this, definitely not any smaller than this. So it doesn't have to be construction paper. Any piece of darker paper that you just poke a hole in will be perfect. And then you need a picture, preferably a picture that has something busy going on. If you have magazines in your house, who has magazines in their house anymore, by the way? Not me, but if you have magazines in your house, that would be perfect. I've got here my book of Salvador Dali paintings. So this is a nice one. There's a lot going on. There's a floating watermelon and a goose head and an ink pot and all kinds of good stuff. So this is perfect for this activity. Or you can even just head to the internet, print something, or even just use the computer screen. It's just fine. So those are the two things you need. You need a piece of paper with a hole in it, and a picture that has some busy stuff happening in it. And here's what you're going to talk to with your kids about. So you're going to, first of all, remind them of that main point, that disciples of Jesus can trust that God has our best in mind. And then I say, but that can be really hard, so let's look at what this might look like. And you're going to take that picture and you're going to cover it with the piece of paper with a hole in it, so they can only see a little tiny part of that picture. Then move it around the picture, see what is on there, and say, okay, based on where the picture, or where this is now, what is this picture of? Well, it's a floating lobster. Well, what is it now? Well, it's a hand, or it's a goose head, or whatever it is on that picture. Dali's great because he has just random stuff all around. And then as you do that, they're going to see that this picture can look like different things depending on where that hole is pointing. That hole's only going to allow them to see a little bit of that picture. And then when you've run out of that, when you're bored, whatever, go ahead and take that off and let them see the whole picture that you've got there. And when you're done, say, now, did you think that this is what the picture was when you were looking at it through the small hole? And if you picked a busy enough picture, your kids are going to say, no, I had no idea all this was going on. I could only see this little part of it. And you can say, when you're looking at the small pieces of the picture, we couldn't see what the big picture was. And life is a lot like that. We often see only a small part of our situation and how it affects us, but God sees all of it, and he sees it from like a 30,000 foot view. He can see everything going on. And God promises to make all things turn out for our good, even though they don't seem good at the time, because God sees the big picture. It's why disciples of Jesus can trust that God has their best in mind. We serve this huge, enormous, giant God who loves us very much and can see everything going on. So even when we go, well, how can COVID work out for our good? How does going to school on Zoom work out for our good? Man, there's things there, right? I mean, we get to spend more time together as a family than we ever dreamed that we'd spend over the last years. That is a good thing. Zoom school can help us develop independent study habits that we're going to need as we grow up later in life. And so that can be a good thing too. There's a million reasons why. And by the way, there's a whole lot of people out there who are looking for God right now because of COVID. They look at what the situation going on and they say, man, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be something in life that can explain some of this. Why are all these bad things happening? And they're searching for God right now. People who may otherwise would have never searched for God in a million years without this happening. So that's so important to remember that we only see a little picture, and definitely important for our kids to see that because kids tend to see everything just through their own lens. They have a hard time appreciating what else is going on out there. So I hope you have a lot of fun with this activity called the Big Picture. And I hope it helps you as you help your kids learn to find and follow Jesus and learn to have trust that God has their best in mind. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.